The Beast, Brock Lesnar, is back in WWE, and a lot of people are not happy about it. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for your SummerSlam Night 2 Fallout. And of course, the main topic here is Brock Lesnar. Now, I actually didn't see this last night. I was working, found out, checked my phone, Brock Lesnar returned. I thought it was like some fake news. I actually went on Netflix to check out the pay-per-view, and lo and behold, Brock Lesnar was there, looking like he looked 3 years ago. You know, the cowboy look, the hat, the jeans, looking shredded, looking massive, F5 and John Cena. So it was great. It was great to see Brock Lesnar back, but a lot of people don't feel that way, and we will get into that in a minute. But we're also going to talk about the attendance. We're going to be talking about Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio potentially turning heel. And we have Kross, who appears to be gone, or at least he will be gone come the end of August from the company. So, with that said, let's just get into the Brock Lesnar stuff first. So, WWE did not do a press conference last night after the show. Every single week, not every single week, every single premium live event, we see them do like the post-press conference where a few of the wrestlers, you know, do an interview. It's weird, you know, they do it half kayfabe, half legit, and then Triple H always ends it because he has to be centre of attention. So that's kind of how these press conferences go, but they didn't do one after SummerSlam Night 2, and Dave Meltzer has said the reason for that is because they brought Brock Lesnar back. And he says, well, this is what he said regarding Lesnar coming back and Lesnar being the reason for them not doing a press conference. He said, quote, 4 weeks ago, WWE Legal cleared Brock Lesnar. As far as why, I don't know. That's something to speculate on because there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, everything relates to the Janelle Grant lawsuit, and WWE Legal is either confident that their thing goes to arbitration and Lesnar's not a factor at that point, or they're close to a settlement, and at that point Lesnar's not a factor, or somebody that's just there had a change of mind, and I don't know which one of those it is. I do know everyone figured this out, but I can tell you factually that the reason they didn't do the press conference was because of this angle, end of quote. So, I mean, I think Meltzer there maybe suggesting that because of the heat and the questions that Triple H may be getting fired at him, that it was better not to do this premium live event until maybe they get a clearer view on the situation or whatnot, maybe until we get a couple more details, which makes sense because if Triple H is sitting there, you're going to have people asking him, you know, why is Brock Lesnar back? They're going to ask about the lawsuit, and we've seen WWE try and distance himself from that, so I think it makes sense. Not even Triple H. If you have other wrestlers doing the press conference, maybe they could get asked as well. So, yeah, that doesn't really surprise me. It kind of makes sense. But now we've got the spokesperson for Janelle Grant also issuing a statement about Brock Lesnar's return to WWE. And this is what she said. She said, quote, for far too long, abuse was allowed to thrive under WWE's leadership. Instead of righting this wrong, WWE has done nothing to ensure those responsible are held accountable. This attempt to sweep misconduct under the rug will backfire. We look forward to the full set of facts, including those about Mr. Lesnar coming out in a court of law where they belong. But in the meantime, we refer you back to Janelle Grant's updated complaint, which outlines in detail the abuse she endured by McMahon and others while employed at WWE, end of quote. And then they've attached, like, you know, a bunch of screenshots showing statements from Janelle Grant and everything she's claiming happened to her in WWE. For me, you know what, this is dragged on way too fucking long. It's an absolute joke. Janelle Grant, you were nothing more than a paid escort, a paid prostitute, and you were happy to do all this shit while the money was coming. And then McMahon stopped it, the money stopped flowing, and now you're coming out pretending to be a victim. You know, this is fucking embarrassing. You were, like I said, you were nothing more than a paid play toy for Mr. McMahon. Now, am I saying that Vince, morally, you know, is that the right thing to do? Sleep with a woman that's almost half your age, cheating on your wife? No, I mean, it's not. Right? Integrity-wise and morally-wise, we can say what McMahon done was wrong, but did he do anything against Janelle Grant's wishes? Did he do anything that Janelle Grant wasn't okay with? No. And that's the reality of the situation. You might not like what he did, you might not agree with what he did, but she was okay with everything that he did until the money stopped flowing in. So, this really needs to get put to bed. This is no different than someone paying for a prostitute and then, like, maybe for a year, you meeting up with them once a month or some shit like that, and then at the end of the year they decide, I don't want to meet you anymore, and then the prostitute claims grape. That's the equivalent of this. So it's a nothing burger. It just needs to fucking move on. I cannot believe Janelle Grant has pretty much destroyed WWE, and by destroying WWE, I mean she's put an end to McMahon in charge, and for me that was the final nail in the coffin for this company. She's also been a big factor in having Brock Lesnar miss close to 3 years, which also does not help WWE because Brock Lesnar's like one of the only fucking men left in this company. So yeah, the damage that Janelle Grant has done, and just come on, look at the amount of women that McMahon's had access to, and I just find it mind-boggling that this 40-year-old Janelle Grant is the one that has pretty much brought McMahon's empire to the ground. You just fucking look at all these Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus, look at all the women, Stacey Keibler that McMahon was surrounded by, and it's Janelle Grant that, that stops the show. The showstopper, as HBK would say. Look, just fucking move on. McMahon, you should have paid her. Was it worth it? And you know what? It's probably like a pride thing, principle. McMahon's like, nah, I'm not paying. But honestly, she wanted what? 3 million? McMahon was only willing to pay 1 million, something along those lines. And it's like, really, McMahon, look at the amount of money you've got. And I get it. Sometimes you shouldn't fold. Sometimes you shouldn't give in to pressure or demands or blackmail or whatnot. But I just think, looking back, would McMahon change his decision and just pay her the money? Who knows? But as John Cena said in his rap, he will never pay a bitch. So maybe that was McMahon's thinking. I don't know. But honestly, this thing needs to move on. Janelle Grant, you've had your 15 minutes of fame. You made a lot of money. You received a lot of gifts while dating McMahon. There's all these messages how you're texting McMahon, saying that you love him, saying how happy you are, and all this shit. And now you're pretending to be a victim because McMahon wanted to bring an end to this relationship, and you didn't like that because you knew that meant your money was going to stop coming in. So, you know what? Embarrassing. Just move fucking on. It's not a big deal. McMahon paid you to have some fun, and you were happy to have some fun at the expense of McMahon's dollars. So it is what it is. This whole thing needs just to be put to bed. Brock Lesnar's back. Happy days. I would love McMahon to be back, but unlikely that is ever going to happen. Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. Right, Cody Rhodes has spoke about people that thought he was going to turn heel. You want to see a heel turn? Well, that's what he had to say after SummerSlam. He said, quote, "It'll be a little bit inside in the statement. I mean it with the utmost respect. A lot of people have thought about maybe I changed my attitude a little bit. Maybe I'd like to take a different direction. I'm going to tell you it goes against everything in my body to do that." End of quote. So Cody Rhodes basically just saying, I'm not a heel. I'm a good guy. I don't do bad things. I'm cookie cutter Cody Rhodes. Yep. Nothing that we didn't already know there. Cody Rhodes, you fucking suck. Stephanie McMahon announced the attendances for SummerSlam. So night 2 was 65,561. And that means that SummerSlam's total attendance is 113,722, and they're claiming that this is the biggest SummerSlam attendance in history. Now, if you add the 2 nights together, it will be, probably. I don't have all the other statistics in front of me, but that's cheap. That's lame. I don't count that. If you're going to have a 2-night SummerSlam, then it's a 2-night event. You cannot just combine the numbers. It doesn't work that way. It's NFL. They don't combine the Super Bowl and like the Pro Bowl game. They don't combine those numbers, or the championship games. They don't combine them. Oh look, the NFL and the AFL championship games combined got this amount. No, you don't do that, right? WrestleMania, SummerSlam, if it's 2 nights now, then it's essentially just its own show. night 2 and night 1, you cannot combine the attendances. It's not how it works. If there's like bands selling out arenas and they're doing several nights, they don't add all the nights together. You know, they've got their one night and then their second night, and they'll take the attendances as an individual thing, but they don't combine them all and then claim they've got some crazy number. It's only WWE that does this. And also, why does Stephanie McMahon need to come out just to announce this? It's very lame. This was never done before, or when it was done, it would be done by the ring announcer, it would be done by Howard Finkel, it would be done by Lillian Garcia, or it would be done by, like, Jim Ross on commentary. Why now did they try and turn this whole attendance thing into one of Triple H's friends or Triple H's family coming out and making it, or Triple H himself coming out and making the announcement? As if they want to take, oh look, big announcement, I'm going to take the credit for it. You know, your product fucking sucks. Is there any need to waste even further time? Does Stephanie McMahon really need to come out to the ring? Waste 5 minutes just to announce an attendance? Absolutely not. Commentary could do this, ring announcer could do this, but again, they just want to be front and centre. They want to try and take all the glory. It's got to be about them. And just like when Triple H has his wee name at the end, executive producer Paul effect, I'd be embarrassed to put my name on this shit that Triple H throws out. So, yeah, I just do not understand the attendance thing. Well, I do understand it because they want to be, you know, everything needs to be about them, but it's just fucking lame. It really is lame. What else have we got to talk about? Cena held one finger up after getting F5'd. Does that mean he has one more match? I mean, maybe, potentially. But finally, let's talk a little bit about Karrion Kross then. Looks like he could be gone. I believe on the post-show, fans were chanting, "We want Kross." Now, whether they're going to get Kross, we don't know. But this is what Karrion Kross had to say. He took to Twitter and he said the following, quote, "Unreal. They write the scripts, but with the fans, write the truth. Thank you, TikTok." So, yeah, is he gone? His contract's finished. Looks like WWE could be going their separate ways with Karrion Kross. I think that he probably will be gone. I mean, he lost to Sami Zayn. He got pretty much buried, let's be honest. It was the cleanest lose you could ever have in your life, I guess. So, yeah, anyway, guys, too tired for this shit. Just woke up, so don't really want to talk too much about wrestling. We'll take a break, and we'll be back later for the Raw review. Hopefully I can get some orange juice, some OJ Simpson down me, and maybe I sounded a bit fucking gay, didn't I? OJ Simpson down me. Right, be back later. Hopefully wake up a wee bit. But yeah, Brock Lesnar's returned. Got an attendance as well. Congratulations. Till next time. Peace.